Welcome, my friends. Hello, my name is Jason Gorenstein, and this is our integrative wellness class. We do this class every single weekday at 3 p.m. So thank you guys so much for being here. I hope that you guys are having a incredible day. I hope you guys are all doing well today. Hopefully, you're having a very nice day. Sorry, I was just trying to update this. All right, there we go. At least it looks okay. So welcome, guys, and you're joining us for wellness class. This happens every weekday at 3 p.m. So I go live on Facebook and record various videos. They're all live. And this is going to be our integrative wellness video. So without further ado, let us begin. You're going to find your way onto your mat, and let's just start in Tadasana pose, standing mountain pose. So you feel ready here, just find your way into your standing mountain pose. And you're going to begin to let your palms come out to the sides, spread the fingers wide apart. Find your way into standing and just be here for a moment. So as we come into this pose, it's often really nice to just begin to shift the weight onto the toes and onto the heels and just start to move back and forth here, feeling your weight into your feet. Excellent. Just noticing the weight and the feeling in those feet, and then the weight and the feeling in those heels. And eventually find your way back to center here. Good. So we'll start out with just a couple of sun salutations, half A series. So we'll float the arms up above the head, raise up through the fingers. As you exhale, release the hands all the way down towards the mat. Inhale, peeling up the arms halfway. Exhale, bringing the hands back down to the mat. Inhale, floating the arms up towards the ceiling, palms touch. Exhale, bringing the hands back down to the sides. Good. Inhale, floating the arms up above the head, looking up to the fingers. Exhale, hinging at the hips and folding all the way forward. Inhale, peeling up the chest here. As you exhale, hinge again. Inhale, floating those arms up towards the ceiling, palms touch. As you exhale, placing the hands back down to the sides. One more time. Inhale, floating up the palms. Exhale, hinging at the hips. Inhale, lengthening through the chest. Exhale, folding. Inhale, sweeping the arms up and above the head. As you exhale, bringing the hands back down and to the sides. Palms face the front of the room. Good. So from here, take the feet about hips-width distance apart. Just begin to bend the knees here. And if you've been joining us for wellness class, we've been kind of tapping into a little bit of Tai Chi lately. So really feel into those feet and let the weight drift down into the balls of the feet and into the heels. The knees are bent here. And it should feel as though the hips are just kind of releasing down all the way to the floor, as if your tailbone could just sink down all the way towards the heels. And keeping that weightedness in the legs, you're going to begin to inhale, straighten those legs up. Good. And exhale, re-bring those knees to a bent position. So just let the weightedness of the legs be all the way through to the heels. You'll take your hands up, drift them up all the way towards the front of the chest. As you exhale, glide the hands down in front of you as you begin to straighten the legs. Good. Bend the knees again. Inhale, float those arms up. That's it. As you exhale, glide the hands on down to straighten the legs. And again, bending those knees. Inhale, floating those arms up. Exhale, gliding the hands down in order to straighten those legs. Very nice. And then from here, you're just going to begin to glide the arms from side to side. So the hand comes over to the right, and the hand comes over to the left. The arm comes over to the right, and gliding it over and to the left. Gliding it over to the right, and gliding it over to the left. Good. And back to center again as you release those feet on down. So this is an exercise of just taking your right hand and gliding it up towards the ceiling here as you press the left palm down. Spin the palms to face one another as you exhale, changing direction here. Inhale, floating the left arm up above the head. Press down through those right fingers. Good. Take the palms face one another, and gliding the hands back across. So inhale, drive the right hand up towards the ceiling, release the left hand down towards the mat. Glide the hands back to face one another. Hands come back across. Glide the left arm up towards the ceiling. Right hand comes down towards the floor. And again, glide the hands to face one another. Let the left palm release down. Let the right arm lift on up. Glide that right hand up. Release that left hand down and change. So the right hand glides on down and the left hand glides on up. So glide that hand on up. Good. And as you exhale here, release that hand on down. Now take your hands and place them right on top of your knees and just begin to bend into those knees here. So you'll bend into the knees and straighten through those legs, and bend into the knees and straighten through those legs, and bend into the knees and straighten through those legs. One more time, bending into the knees and straightening through those legs. You'll release the hands down the legs here. Just let the head release on down. And breathe into the backs of the legs here. Let the knees be bent slightly. Just begin to breathe into the back of the body as if your spine is like the bushel of a willow. And you're allowing for your hips to gently rock over from side to side here. So as you drift the body over from side to side, release those hands down the legs and allow the head to release down towards the mat here. Good, so now you'll take the hands forward towards the feet and release the hands on down here as you breathe. And just breathe into the back body. So this is called a forward fold. We take this pose to release tension and pressure in the body, especially in the legs and in the hips. And you can begin to bend your left knee up as you lift your left heel up off the mat. And releasing that left heel down, you're going to bend the right knee, lifting the right heel up, and releasing that heel down. So right heel releases down, left knee lifts up, and release it on down. Right knee lifts on up, and the right heel releases on down. So take your hands, glide your hands to your shins, lengthen your chest, heart, and sternum all the way up. Exhale, forward fold again. Good. Take your hands to your hips here. Inhale, peel up the chest and find your way into standing. So from here, we're going to just start to glide our body over from side to side again. So we've been doing a lot of stretches like this lately, and this is something that is a very fundamental Tai Chi exercise. So you just drift the weight over from side to side here. That's it. You drift the weight over to the right, you come back to center. You drift the weight over to the left, you come back to center. So as you come to the right, the hands come to the right. Good. And as you come to the left, the hands come to the left. So you're just going to start out like this. So drift the hands over to the left, bring the hands over to the right. Drift the hands over to the left, bring the hands to the right. So you're alternating the leg and the hand movement. The hands double time. So the hands kind of go back to the other side, right? And then they go over, and then they transfer to the other side. Good. Bend into that knee, and just let the hands continue to move back and forth here. So we're coordinating different movements in the body. Bending into the right knee, straightening into the right leg. Bending into the left knee. Good. The hands continue to move here, straightening through the left leg. Bending into the right knee. Very nice. Straightening through that right leg. Bending into the left knee. Straightening into the left leg. And then release the hands down to the side. So many of these Tai Chi movements, they're based in martial arts. So this is one where we take our left hand, you reach it on forward, you draw it on back, and then again you bring your hands forward, you draw them on back. So it's like it's kind of like some sort of self-defense in a way. So you take your right leg out, you drive the shoulder up, you bring the arm forward, bring the arms out, glide back to center. Good. Then you open up to the other side. Left arm's defense, right arm comes forward. Glide that arm back and back to center again. So ready? Right elbow out, left arm forward, right leg back, back to center again. And then the left arm comes forward for defense. Right arm sweeps out, right hand back, and come back to center. So we're just going to do this a few times. And this is actually, believe it or not, it's a really nice way to kind of open up the body. So you switch onto your left foot, bend into the left knee, glide that hand forward, glide the leg back, come back to center. We're going to do one more time to the right side. So bend into the right knee, left arm extends, straighten the leg, arm comes back, come back to center, and then the arms change. Right arm comes forward as you defend with the left, open up, and come back to center. Again, release those hands all the way down. So now this is kind of, I've heard, as the crane pose. So you'll take your hands to your sides, and then you'll inhale. You'll draw the left knee to bend, kind of like we would in triangle pose. You extend the arms out, glide the arms out to the side, draw that leg back, bring it back into center. Arms come out, switch the right leg out this time, glide that leg out, back in, and to center. So we're just going to alternate a few times of this. You could keep the legs here if you want and just extend like this, or you can extend that left leg out. So that's an option. So you have the ability here to either extend the leg or to decide to just keep the leg bent, the knee bent. So lengthening the leg, back in and to center, and changing sides, lengthening in and back to center. Good. So these are a couple of options that we have when it comes to these practices, right? And this is an exercise that's referred to as the rowing of the wheel. I think we've done this before. So you're going to kind of like make your hands as if you have a, I like to think of it as a turbine, you know, one of those things that turns with the water. And you're just going to kind of whoosh and bring the hands back and whoosh and bring the hands back and whoosh and bring the hands back and come back to center. We're going to change sides. So left leg, once again, bring the hands back in, whoosh, bending the knee and bringing the leg back in, and whoosh, and bending the knee and bringing the leg back in, and whoosh, and bending the knee and bringing the leg back in, and then stepping the feet back in and to center. Good. So from here, you're going to take your right hand, bring it to the top of the head, and just draw your right ear over towards your right shoulder. Draw the left hand down, breathe in, continue to feel the extension and elongation all the way through the left side of the body here. Releasing the chin towards the chest. And then you're going to come back to center. You're going to take the left ear and bring it all the way towards the right shoulder. So left ear moves to left shoulder, and just extend down here as you breathe. Good. And then you're going to take both sides of the head. You're going to look down at the belly, lift the head back up, lift the head up towards those hands, and back to center. And then you're going to take your hands in front of the head and release the head on down. And back to center here. Good. So again here, we're just going to play with some of these more hand techniques, if you will, or hand movements. You'll take your hands to the center chest. Inhale, open up your left palm to the right like you're an archer, and bring your hands back into center. And open up your left palm out to the left, and draw the hands back into center. Right arm extends open and out to the right, and back to center. Left arm extends out to the left, and back to center. Right arm out to the right. Open the chest, heart, and sternum here. Back to center. Left arm out to left. And back to center. Inhale, raise those arms up above your head. Interlace the fingers here. Press up through the palms. Stretch out through the right side of the body. Find your way back to center. Stretch out through the left side of the body. Find your way on back to center. Good. So continuing on with some of these gentle movements, you're just going to begin to kind of bounce the knees up and down. So we're bouncing the hands and bouncing the knees. And this is just a great way to kind of let those hips relax, shoulders relax. You can even kind of exaggerate these movements, if you will. Kind of letting those knees bounce here and just exaggerating the bouncing of the movements, if you will. And moving back and forth. Nice. And then from here, you're just going to glide the hips from side to side again. So as you glide the hips, remember you're turning your entire chest and hips. You can even turn the legs slightly here, but this is a great way for us to improve our digestion. So by moving from side to side, we help to encourage a sense of digestion here. That's it. And then as you continue to breathe, coming back to center, release the hands all the way down the legs. Release the hands all the way down towards the mat. Release the head all the way down here. Cross the right thumb into the left elbow crease. Cross the left thumb into the right elbow crease. Release the head on down. Breathe into the back body here. Filling up the back body with breath. And draw those elbows over to the left. Back into center and drawing those elbows all the way over to the right. And back to center again. Good. Hands come to the low back again. Press through the feet. Inhale, lift the chest up. Float the arms up towards the ceiling, raising through the fingers, interlacing the palms here, breathing in. Oh, nice. Welcome, guys. Nice to have you here. So we're just doing a little bit of a Tai Chi sequence. So welcome, Dan and Gail. So if you guys like, you can just join me with some swing. I know you missed some of the first part of the series, but it's pretty much just a continuation of just mindful movements here. So don't worry about moving too quickly here. The ideal is that you just want to feel into the body and the feet. So when we move into these Tai Chi movements, the slower you can move, the better, because what you actually find is you're using all the muscle groups in the legs. So Tai Chi, it's a practice. And believe it or not, there's actually a really great Tai Chi teacher who I'll tell you guys about in a moment that lives in Claremont. So he teaches Tai Chi out there, and I practiced with him for about a year. So it's really cool, really good practice. So inhale, raise those arms up towards the ceiling, raise those arms up. Exhale, bringing those hands down, just like a wash of water. So inhale, gliding those arms up, lifting the palms up towards the ceiling, maybe looking up at those fingers. And as you exhale, gliding those hands all the way down. And inhale, raising those arms up above the head, looking up, and exhale. So we're all working with the energy meridians of our body. And from here, and this is another one that we do, you're going to step your right leg out. Right foot is in line with the right hip. Left foot is slightly turned in. You're going to bend into this left knee. Then you're going to draw forward and bend into the right knee. You're going to bend back into the left knee. Turn the right leg out. And then step forward into the right leg. So you'll step forward here. You'll step into the left leg. You'll drive back into the right leg. You'll step into the left leg. And then you'll step the feet together. So I'll show you. I just have my mat, so you'll see the distance of the mat, how we do this exercise. So you step forward with the left, all right? You draw back into the right. Then you turn the left on out, and then you step forward here. You step forward with the right. Good. You drive back into the left. You turn the right foot, and then you step forward with the left. We'll do it one more time. Left knee bends. Right knee bends. Left knee bends, and then you'll step the feet back together. So this is a really nice exercise. It's a walking meditation exercise. I don't have too much space here. So you can do this exercise to really build strength in the legs and solidity in the legs. From here, glide the right arm up towards the ceiling. Raise that right palm up above your head. And as you feel ready, glide the hands past each other and begin to float the left arm up. So great exercise for moving energy through the body. Believe it or not, we have all these chakras throughout the body. And chakras, what they are, is they're places in the body where we have more sensation. So an example of that is the forehead, the throat, the chest, the belly, the pelvis. So these are all areas where we get more sensation than other areas of the body. So we're actually moving the energy. If you could envision right now that you're moving all of any type of negative energy that you may have throughout your day just through the ground. Any type of positive energy, lifting it up and letting that shower on you. Then you're taking that any energy from the head, grounding it on down. And you're doing the same thing with the right hand. You're lifting on up and letting that shower upon you. So this is the spiritual side of the practice. However, the physical side of the practice is we're massaging the ascending and the descending colon here. So as you move the hands in these opposite directions, our digestive organs are beginning to massage themselves. So you can feel those organs in the belly, the intestines, large intestines, the small intestines. So they begin to massage themselves here. And then you have the ascending and descending colon. Ascending colon's on the right side, then you have the transverse colon on the top, and then you have the descending colon. So they're actually pretty big. The colon is pretty big as compared to the intestines are long, but the colon is pretty big. It runs all the way from the right lower belly all the way up and then all the way to the left lower belly. So what you'll do now, we can even envision this. This is where the stomach is, right at the very center, right here, at the very center of the belly. All these intestines are right here, small, large, just like that. They go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Then we come over to the right side of the body. This is where the appendix is and the ascending colon. We go up here, drive it up. You drive over across the transverse colon, then you drive down through the descending colon. So this is actually a massage that you can do if you're ever having any issues with digestion. And it's a really nice massage to just take your hands across the belly, drive your hands up, drive your hands across, and drive your hands down. So we do this in order for our digestion to improve. That's it. And then from here, as you feel ready, take your hands down to your shins and release the head all the way down. Just let that head relax. And just take the hands. I would like you to cross your opposite elbows here. I invite you to cross your opposite elbows. And just breathe into the back body here. See that those calves are moving towards your shins. See that those thighs are moving towards your hamstrings. And just start to sway those elbows from right to left. It doesn't have to be fast. You may just move them very gently from side to side here. And eventually release the hands on down towards the mat. Now take the hands to the low back. Press through the feet. Inhale, peel up the chest. Find your way to standing. Inhale, float up the left arm. Inhale, float up the right arm, interlace the fingers here, and press the palms all the way up towards the ceiling. So as we glide the hands over to one side, just feel that stretch on the other side. So great stretch for the lungs. All right, this is one of those really nice stretches which stretches out the intercostal muscles. So stretching over to the one side, stretching out the body, and stretching out the other side, and stretching out the body. Good, and then coming back to center here. And again, you're just going to rock those arms forwards and backwards here just to kind of move the energy and bounce the knees up and down. I actually like to close my eyes a little bit, to be honest, because I can really feel into my feet. So sometimes I like to close my eyes when I practice because it helps me to really ground into those feet. It's just a nice way to kind of feel. As long as you have good balance here, you can kind of let all the weight travel down. And then from here, you're going to glide once again from side to side. So maybe even turning the hips here. I kind of like to balance on that heel and turn that heel out. You guys can probably see, you might be able to see that. I actually pivot on the heel, and then I turn the foot down. And then I pivot on the heel and turn that foot down. So just a really nice way to kind of like incorporate the hips here and incorporate the body. Now, if you want, as you pivot onto the heel, you're going to press the energy forward in front of you. This is really Tai Chi right now. You come back to center. Good. And then you press the energy on forward. That's it. You guys can probably see it. Like when you start to tap into the Tai Chi, it almost looks like a very slow form of meditation. So the left fingers come forward, you draw them back, like you're tapped into this hypnotic space. And then you draw forward, and then you press through the right finger, so you're pushing forward and driving on back. So this practice, and then switching over to the left, we're going to do a karate chop here and bring it back to center. Drive the hands in back through center. So bring the hands in, chop the hands out like this, bring the hands back in, and then bring it back to center. And then you step the feet back together. So not only that, but as you release the energy down, really start to feel into the groundedness of your feet. Like Feel like your feet are a redwood tree rooted into the earth. Believe it or not, redwoods, the root system of the redwood, because the tree is so big in proportion, they sometimes they can topple over. So this idea of that have you ever seen the banyan trees in Hawaii? Your root system are like the banyan trees of Hawaii. They're pretty strong root systems. They're constantly weaving in and out all over the place. They can jump up somewhere else and then like grow another tree. So feel that sense of rootedness and just soften the eyes here. Just feel like you're sitting into an invisible chair and you're just letting the feet root there. You are not, it's almost like you're floating. That's how much energy is kind of rooting through the floor. And then inhale, straighten those legs on up. Raise the arms up towards the ceiling. So now we're going to incorporate a little bit of yoga, a little bit of physical activity. Exhale, forward fold here. Inhale, raising through the chest. So bring your hands to the shins. Exhale, bringing your hands back down to the earth. Inhale, raising those arms all the way up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bringing those hands back down into the side. So 2 more times, guys. We started with this, but we're coming back to it. Inhale, raising up. Exhale, hinging on down. Inhale, lifting on up, halfway. Exhale, hinging on and folding. Inhale, raising those arms up towards the ceiling, lifting through the fingers. Exhale, bringing the hands to the side. So let's take the hands to the hips here. Step the feet wide apart. Spin. Let's start with the left foot this time. Let's spin the left foot out to the left side of the room. Hands are on the hips to start. Bend deeply into that left knee. And then once again, straighten that leg. So you want your feet to be rather wide apart. You do want to have like 4 feet in between your left heel and your right arch of the foot. Bend into that left knee again. So if you bend the knee and it bends to over 90 degrees, just walk those toes forward. Just be here for a moment. Feel the groundedness happening through that right back foot. Right back leg is pressing into the ground. Feel the left heel stamping down through the earth. You could feel as though even if you were to be pushed forwards or backwards, your legs are so rooted that you feel your rootedness through your legs and you feel like you have that stability there. You don't feel like you could easily be pushed. So this is a way of kind of letting yourself ground through the earth. It's actually interesting in Tai Chi, straightening that leg, switching over to the other side. In Tai Chi, there's a practice, it's like a martial art where it's a form of fighting, where you use your arm and the other person has their arm and you're constantly like moving your energies back and forth. And that action, even in yoga, we have that sense of that rooted energy. Yoga is a more individual practice. Obviously, there's partner yoga, but yoga is a more individualized practice. Tai Chi, it is individual, but I practiced it with a group of people before. And when you practice in a group, oh my God, everybody is in the zone. So that's a really cool thing. So let that right knee bend. If you start to feel any irritation in your knee, see that your hands are on your hips. You don't want to bend your knee too much, so try not to overbend your knee. Just let your feet be down. Let your feet be touching the ground. Let your right knee be bent, and then just allow that left heel to press on down. That's it. And then from here, you'll straighten through the right leg. You'll turn both feet back to center, and then you'll take your legs together, legs to touch. So especially with knee issues, and that's such an interesting thing, we think don't bend the knees if you have knee issues, but we need to let more blood flow move into the knees. So you don't want to torque the knee right or left, but it's okay to just start to build a little bit of strength in those knees. So bend the knees, lift the arms up towards the ceiling, breathe here. And then as you straighten through the legs, release the arms down through the sides. We're going to do that again. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, bend the knees. So as you bend the knees, you don't have to bend them too much. And as you straighten the legs, bringing the hands down, you don't have to buckle the knees. So you don't have to like drive the knees into the back of the leg. You just kind of want to let them relax here. Inhale, floating up, floating up, floating up. Exhale, releasing down. Good, 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 good. Inhale, floating up, floating up, floating up. Exhale, releasing down. So another thing, I don't know why I'm talking about knee health today. Maybe it's just a common topic. But if you put your knees in ice water or you put ice on your knees, it's also really good. Helps out with relaxing the joints around the legs. Just a nice way if you ever feel inflamed in the knees. From here, just let the arms come down those legs. Release the hands down to the mat. And just let the body weight release down from the hips all the way down through the crown of the head. And almost like you have monkey hands, and you could just sway your hands over to the left leg, glide your hands back to center, and sway your hands over to the right leg, and glide your hands back to center. So coming over to the left, and finding your way back to center, and coming over to the right, and finding your way back to center. Eventually, you'll release those hands down to the earth and just let the body rest here. Shake out that head, yes. Shake out that head, no. Shake out that head, yes. Just a great way to, once again, improve circulation into the back muscles, the chest, the lungs, the spine. You could bounce up and down a couple of times here. Good, and then eventually hands come to the hips. Inhale, peel up the chest. Find your way back up to standing. Very nice. All right, so guys, you know the sequence. We're going to take ourselves onto the ground. I still want to do a few more postures, but we're going to transition from our standing onto our ground series here. So find your way onto the ground. You're going to start onto your hands and your knees here, and start with a couple of rounds of cat and cow pose. So as you inhale, peel the chest on up, and as you exhale, round the spine. Another thing you want to see here is as you look at your hands, you want to see that your index fingers are parallel with the outer edges of the mat. So inhale, lengthening forward. It's not the middle fingers, it's the index fingers. And exhale, rounding through the spine. Good. And inhale, peeling on forward. And exhale, rounding through the spine. Excellent, guys. Okay, from here, so we've done this many times to stretch out that right leg, extend the right leg back, press through the right ball of the foot. Now, if anybody has any knee issues, I don't know why we're on the common topic of the knees today, but if you have any knee issues, please consider placing a blanket underneath your knees here. There's nothing wrong with doing that. You do want to protect the knee and cushion the knee to the best of your ability. Maybe because somebody I was working with was talking about knees, so I think that maybe that's why it's in my mind. So as you rock back and forth here, just continue to move that right heel back and forth. Release that right knee down. We're going to change over to the opposite side. So let the left knee, let the left leg continue to move back and forth here. Back and forth, back and forth. And then release that knee on down. Good. Hips sway side to side, hips sway side to side. We're going to take our first kind of, I would say, more gentle pose, held pose. You're going to take the right hand, glide it underneath the left arm. So turn the left palm over towards the right side of the room, and then weave your right arm through. And if you want here, what you can do is you can either walk your left fingers forward, or what I like to do here is take the left arm and place it behind my back. So that may also feel good for you. And breathe here. So please don't forget to be attentive for your breath. It's not that we have to remember to breathe. Usually our bodies will remember to do that for us, but we have to remember to pay attention to our breath because that's what allows for us to relax. The breath is one of those things that continues to remind us of relaxation. Take the left hand, place it down on the mat, drive the chest up, place the right hand down, draw the left arm underneath, and breathe here. So you'll take the right hand and place it right behind your back. Release the head on down and breathe here. Now breathe into the right shoulder. Breathe into the left outer hip. And breathe. And breathe, and breathe, and breathe. And eventually, guys, you're going to eventually press your way on up again. Press your way on up again. So come onto your hands. Come onto your knees. We're going to take one downward facing dog here. So tuck the toes underneath. Press forward through the forearms. Release the head back down towards the mat as you take the thigh bones back. Downward facing dog. So downward facing dog pose, similar to mountain pose, Tadasana.
see that the fingers are growing towards the front of the mat. So literally feel your fingers as if they could lengthen all the way to the front of the room. They could even lengthen beyond the mat. And feel the legs, the outer heels, as the heels could lengthen back towards the back of the room. So those inner thighs are lengthening back and the outer hips are lengthening back. You could feel all that. That's it. Eventually, you're going to release the knees back down onto the earth, and then we're going to take the legs forward of the pelvis. So I recommend coming into a seated position now on a blanket. If you don't have one, it's fine. You could sit on a pillow here, or if you don't have a pillow, you could sit on the floor. The reason why I like to sit on a blanket is because the blanket provides some cushioning for underneath the pelvis. So it actually helps if some of us, our pelvis, we have a tight hamstrings, and then it kind of causes some compression in the back. So that's why I use the blanket underneath when I sit. If you have a block, you may want to place a block underneath your right knee. And if you have a strap, you may want to take hold of a strap here and place it over your left leg. So this is very simple in a sense. You're going to lengthen your chest forward and up, and then you're going to close your eyes here and breathe into that right leg. So this is called Janu Shirshasana pose, or head to knee pose. And it's called that because as the chest folds over that left thigh, maybe the elbows float up to the ceiling, maybe the head releases down towards that leg. And it all depends. You know, I've had a very strong Janu Shirshasana practice. I could still get my head to my knee, but I've realized that as I practice, there's various aspects of practice that I find for me that are very important. So I'd rather just like keep my chest lifted and continue to breathe and open up the back. So that's what I find very important here. But if you find your way into the forward fold, close the eyes, find your way into meditation. Meditation is just a state of consciousness. It's like when you direct your mind and you focus it into a space of relaxation. That could be referred to as meditation. And then inhale, remove that strap from the leg. Draw the right knee in now. Draw the right knee in and take the right leg over the left. Draw the right leg over the left. And then take your right arm around the right thigh and place your left hand back behind you and twist here. This is called subtle twist, simple twist. It's just a twist where you can just twist very gently, close the eyes, and breathe. All right, and then from here, you'll take that right leg. You'll extend that right leg forward and out in front of you. You'll take your left leg. You'll drive your left leg in. And you're going to place your left leg over your right thigh. So let's start here. We're not going to start in Janu. We're going to start here. Left foot is over the right. Then place your right hand behind your back and twist here. So breathe into that left hip. And breathe into the chest. And continue to look over your right shoulder. Now come back to center. Take your left leg. Place your left foot inside your right thigh crease. Place your left leg here on top of the block. Take your strap. Place your strap over the top of the foot. And then continue to lengthen here. As you continue to lengthen, close the eyes and breathe. And really allow for yourself to dive into that breath. The breath is like an ocean. As you find your way into that space, let your body dissolve.
There's no need to do anything here in this pose. Quite the opposite. Just let yourself relax here. All right, from here, lift on up. I'm going to have you guys take your left leg again over your right. And this time, if you can, just place your left thigh over, or your left bent knee over your right thigh. And you're going to walk the hands forward here and release the head down. So you don't have to go far. I don't want you guys to think that you have to touch the leg or you have to completely release here. Go as far as feels comfortable for you. It's a lot of pressure underneath the right knee, okay? So you don't want to necessarily go too far, and maybe some of us will even back off a little bit just so that we can breathe into that leg. So I obviously can go further than this, but at times it's nice to just hold here in a space where I can calm and quiet. All right, walk those hands on back. Take the left leg, extend the left leg forward, take the right leg, glide it on over, bring that leg on in, and then again, you're just going to fold forward here. Release the head on down, close the eyes, and breathe. This is called Gomukhasana's pose. Gomukhasana is cow face. It's a cow face pose. And it's called cow face because if I take the full pose, it resembles the ears of a cow. I'd have to show you for you guys to see it, but it resembles the ears of a cow, the nose of the cow, the face of the cow. So that's how it got its name. So it kind of has that cow-like resemblance. This pose, this one is just it's only one component of it, so it doesn't look at all like cow space pose. It's just a nice stretch for the hamstrings. It's a really nice hamstring stretch. All right, walk those hands back up. Take the leg, uncross the leg. Bring both feet together. Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. Take your feet together, grab hold of your feet, also known as butterfly pose. So see that your femur bones are drawing in towards your thigh creases as you begin to lean the chest forward. You'll notice, if you were to look at my spine, you could see if I really fold forward, somewhere around here, the middle of my back, that's kind of where it gets tight. So even with all the yoga, all the poses are different. If you do a lot of strengthening yoga, you may not do a lot of flexibility yoga, and vice versa. So you want to just find a space that you hold that feels comfortable for you, and close your eyes there. Over time, yeah, the muscles relax, the joints relax, but you want to find a space that's comfortable for you. Inhale, lifting on up. Lifting the chest, lifting the heart, lifting the sternum, being here for a moment. Good. So right now we're going to transition our way onto our mat. If you have a blanket, you can just place the blanket on the side. You're going to come onto your back and hug your knees into your chest here. Squeeze in, take child's pose. This is child's pose. It's called balasana. It's not actually child's pose. It's balasana or ball pose. But it's the same as child's pose. It's literally identical. We're just we're just on our back. We're not on our shins and our knees. So from here, you're just going to rock the knees slightly to the right and rock the knees slightly to the left. So you're still holding onto those knees. Good. And then take your right knee into the chest. Now, if you have a strap, we've done this many, many, many times before. If you have a strap, place the strap over the right heel. Lift the right leg up towards the ceiling. If you don't have a strap, take both hands behind the right leg and lift your right leg up towards the ceiling. Just keep the eyes closed here. This is called Supta Padangusthasana. Padangusthasana is a foot bound pose. Big toe bound pose. Padangusthasana. So as you breathe here, you're going to let that right hip draw towards the left ball of the foot. Close the eyes here. Ideally, both shoulders are releasing down the spine away from the ears. So if you do this pose enough, you want to feel that the shoulders are not moving towards the ears. Quite the opposite, they're moving away from the ears. And then you just bring your right leg on down. You're going to draw the left knee to a bent position. Bring the left heel up towards the ceiling and breathe here. Excellent. Press through the right ball of the foot. Lift that left leg on up. Continue to breathe into the left leg. Press through the right ball of the foot. Drive the right knee in. Press through the left ball of the foot. Drive the left hip away from you. All right, and then release that leg on down. So take your hands now, and this is going to be should be a nice chest opener. Grab hold of the outer edges of your mat. Roll your left shoulder under. Roll your right shoulder under. Walk your feet in. Press down through your feet. Lift the pelvis up. See that your calves are moving in towards your shins. See that your thighs are moving in towards your hamstrings. See that your buttocks is drawing up and your belly is drawing in, and breathe here. Release that pelvis on down. Take the legs, cross the legs here. This is a great little stretch. If it's too much to cross the legs here, if you have blocks, you could place blocks underneath the knees, bring the feet together, knees apart. Otherwise, I'd recommend the cross of the legs. It feels really nice. The hips, the low back, shoulders, chest. Now you're going to drive the knees the other way. So you're going to take the other leg in front and release here. I hope that this feels good for you. I know that this pose for me feels very good. It's nice for the knees to be able to release down. The knees are supported with the heels or through the ankle or the outer foot. So this should create a sense of relaxation. And then bring the knees back into center. And walk the knees over to the left side. And take the arms out to the sides as you release here. So this is called a simple twist. If you have a block, you may want to place the block in between your legs. For some of us, that feels good. Just take the arms out to the sides. So start to relax here. Even the fingers. Sometimes I grip the fingers. Can you release the finger gripping so you're not gripping in the fingers? Just allowing for your body to relax here and release. And then taking those knees back to center and taking those knees over the other side. All right. From here, let's come back to center. Just extend your legs fully forward. I'd recommend taking your hands under the buttocks, just moving it forward. If you'd like, you could place a blanket or a pillow underneath the head here. Close the eyes. Release the palms out to the sides. This is called Shavasana. Walk the left and right shoulders under. Let the eyes melt to the back of the head. And as you take this pose, remember, the less you do, the better. This is not like any of the other poses. So as you feel ready, take the knees to a bed position. Begin to revolve the knees over to a side and roll over onto that side. Using your top palm, gently press your way up and find your way back into a seated position. As you find your way into a seated position, take the hands to the center chest. Exhale, release the chin to the chest. Lifting the head, opening the eyes. Namaste, yogis. Thank you guys so much. I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful day. So thank you, Gail and Dan, for making your way to practice today. And yes, so happy to be here. So we're doing live streaming yoga classes every single day of the week on Facebook. For anybody else who's tuning in, just make sure that you are tuned into the, like the Facebook page. Also, I upload the videos later to YouTube, so if you ever miss a video, you can always feel free to watch a video on YouTube. Oh, thank you so much, Gail. So I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Hopefully, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I will be here. I stream every day, so Monday through Sunday. And yeah, we're doing pretty good. We got a lot of good videos out. I'm feeling pretty confident about where it's all going. So I'm pretty happy with just continuing to keep consistent with doing the videos. So I hope that no, it's not Tony. The teacher's name is Ted. His last name I cannot remember, but if you search Ted at the Claremont Club, I think it will come up. Just search Ted Tai Chi Claremont Club, and I think he does teach within the community center. I do believe I know of a Tony though, but Ted is a really pretty cool guy. He's been practicing Tai Chi for about 30 years or so, and a really nice community of people. He teaches in a bunch of different places, sometimes privately, sometimes at the Claremont Club, and other places as well. So if you search Ted, yes, for sure. So yeah, I hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I will be here, yogis. So please continue to stay up in spirit, and I'll keep studying my Tai Chi. I'm going to try to get more exercises in there. I'd like to get into back into doing the 24 form, the short form, and that's what Ted does. So I'm going to see if I can start remembering how to do short form Tai Chi. I'm going to watch a couple of videos on it. Have a wonderful evening, Gail and Dan. Please be well. Anybody else who's watching, I hope that you have a fantastic evening. I'll be here tomorrow once again, 6 a.m. If you want to catch me tonight, I'm going to be on yogaworks.com live stream at 7:15. It's free. So at least I was told that the stream is free tonight. So if you guys want to find me there, yogaworks.com. It's going to be a Hatha Yoga 1-2 class. So it's going to be a moderate intensity class. Have a phenomenal day, everyone. Be well. Be happy. Namaste. Thank you, guys.